Hey everybody!
Hello guys!
MaJeliv here, we're the Vasquez family, and in today's video we're going to be reacting to the new Marvel series, What If? We are extremely excited, we're extremely, I guess, curious to see what this has in store. They haven't really told us much about how this connects to everything, but we definitely are starting to see the ripples of the madness that began in Loki with the multiverse kind of going off into haywire. So it's extremely intriguing. We're very curious to see how these different characters kind of interact with each other and what we'll learn in this that'll lead us into Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So first episode is going to be centered around Peggy Carter and if she was the first Avenger. It looks like Steve Rogers is going to get seriously injured and then somehow she's going to become the first super soldier. So extremely excited to see that, and I think from what I've read, and you guys can confirm this, that each episode coming out is based off of a what if comic that came out. So all of these are comics that exist, these different scenarios of different characters kind of swapping roles and all that. So definitely will be interesting to see how they kind of bring that to the screen. Obviously this is an animated show. We've never seen anything of Marvel in this way. This I don't know, like the style of it looks very intriguing, very fascinating. It's kind of got it looks a little bit, it kind of reminds me of the Tron Uprising, that old show a long time ago. But we'll see. It looks pretty cool.
I think the last thing was Spider-Man, right? The animated.
I guess in terms of Marvel and yeah sure.
Yeah, that was kind of
and that movie was fantastic, but obviously not connected at all to the MCU. So
sorry, had to ask about.
We shall see. We shall see. But thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoy our reaction. Let's jump in. Here we go.
Can you see the puppy?
Man,
The music.
it's been a couple of weeks.
It has been a while.
Feels good to hear this again.
Not really, man. Honestly, we're being spoiled.
We are being
so
spoiled.
Like back to back.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when COVID
Eternals,
hits. They have all
Shang-Chi,
this like.
Spider-Man No Way Home, Loki, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm holding up 6 Marvel things that came out this year. Like,
Whoa.
yo.
That's new.
Comics. Ooh, little kid, we just got very excited.
And on to the question. What if?
Interesting. Very interesting.
Probably the intro to every episode.
No, I prefer to stay.
There. That's the moment that created a new universe.
Because she's dead.
When asked to leave the room, Margaret Peggy Carter chose to stay.
That happens in the movie, but it happens earlier.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
What? Are you crazy? I push the buttons. I'm the buttons guy. You already said the bullets don't mix. We're gonna lose everything.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Only chance. Now!
Whoa. And he chose to.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
God, this is awesome. This is really awesome.
It's
Like-
jacked.
She's so jacked.
Yeah,
Muscular,
bro.
dude.
Absolute success. What an absolute failure. $10 million and all the hope in the world down the drain.
You have a super soldier.
Women aren't soldiers. They sure as hell don't fight on the front lines. Even break a nail.
It's a period.
It's a time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude.
Man, she threw that from up there.
Yeah, dude.
Bro.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yes. Man.
Wow.
Brilliant! Let's give it another go.
To
her suit is so sick.
Wow. She's just knocking him out.
Okay, here we go. Enter the big boy.
Sending in a fragile Fraulein to fight for it.
Fragile.
Wow.
Oh man.
You owe me a dance.
Hey. So that still happened, but a little bit more like.
Nice. You mind if I have a go?
That was great.
Dude,
Oh my
she is
gosh.
insane.
Wow.
And you know, because it's animation, they get to
Have so much fun.
kind of
with
push the physics a little.
Oh yeah.
That's the same,
Same
shot.
shot.
Same shot. Wow.
Oh shoot! Is that?
Iron Man?
Iron Man suit.
Hold on a second. She's friends with that Hydra stomper?
Together.
Right.
That's what this is. This is yeah.
Oh man, I love this. Captain Carter montage.
Yeah. They're like speeding through everything.
I've always said that
Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, the shot.
You're my hero too.
Aww.
Hey. Unless an explosion breaks out.
Interruption.
Hey, arms stole a Jeep. Come on, Steve, let's go. You too, Carter. Whoa, hey, what's going on? Oh, no. No, you continue. Just pretend I'm not here.
Oh my
man.
Thanks. You almost ripped my arm off.
You see the red skull?
I got a visual, but... Peggy, go! Get up!
So I was thinking maybe we can lose him.
What? Does he become the Winter Soldier?
He still gets buried under ice,
Yeah, right? Jeez.
just in a different way.
Rewrite the laws of physics.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Wow. Did she just scale the castle?
Yeah.
Like I said, when you're in animation, there's a lot of things you can play with.
Well, it's
Yeah.
also she was already genetically built better than Steve Rogers was.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so the serum enhanced what she was already able to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cause there's a whole show of her, right?
Yeah, she was already pretty agile. I love that.
Too late, Captain Carter. I have summoned the champion of high.
Okay, maybe we need a laugh.
When your ego literally kills you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
It's a squidge. Oh, wow. She has a sword now?
Nice.
This is.
Oh my
What?
gosh. It's like a random sword. It was there.
She's gonna go. See? Where's she going?
That's how she disappears.
Where did she go though?
That's the question.
Where did she go?
Steve Rogers in ice, but oh, remember
It's shot
in
from
the Avengers?
Oh. Oh, she's in the future now. She's in
Ma'am, please.
Where's Steve Rogers?
The war ended almost 70 years ago.
She time traveled.
You're going to be okay.
Of course.
Or no, she didn't time
We
travel.
won the war.
She was just stuck in there, right?
I observe all that transpires here, but I do not, cannot, will not interfere.
Until
For
war.
I am the Watcher.
The Watcher.
The Watcher. He's always watching. Ooh.
That was cool, man.
It's really cool.
Definitely definitely, I feel like once Doctor Strange and like the characters that we're supposed to see more of start coming in, that's when we're really gonna start to see how it.
All ties.
Yeah, I think this is also giving us a perspective of what it truly means to shift reality, to have like what we saw in Loki, where everything diverts, like how one small simple decision can wreak havoc on the entire story. So the fact that now there's so many of these moments shifting, it gives us a glimpse into what the multiverse of madness is going to be.
Right.
Because Wanda made a lot of choices that were, I mean, they were.
That's true.
They
Wanda
made
did
sense,
shift
but they
things.
were not okay to the multiverse and to all of that.
Right.
So, wow, look
Yeah,
at
there's
this
so
picture,
many-
man.
There's so many different realities.
You know, I can imagine when you write some of this stuff the first time, like when you first write Captain America, and then you come up with these just for fun. You say, well, what if we were to, and now we get to experience a big what if of what happens to Peggy Carter
Yeah, man.
if she were to step in. It's really intriguing and fascinating to watch, to see and we got a brief moment of what the reaction would be of that general, because he represents really the times, right, and how people would have reacted to a woman being in this position. And then we got to see Peggy still lose Steve, but then Steve loses Peggy, and now she's in the future.
Yeah.
And it was abrupt. It was a bit abrupt at the end, but I know because they're trying to tie it all together within like a 30-minute window.
Right. And that's the thing. It really is little glimpses into these stories.
Well, maybe
Yes.
as episodes go on, we're gonna see how much true impact it had across the whole timeline.
The thing is, and that's just one angle. I mean, there's so many different, where some follow more of what we know, but then things go wrong on a different level, different section. So it's very fascinating. It's going to be very, very interesting. I mean, truly.
Yeah.
But I think more than anything, it gives us the possibilities and shows us the possibilities with the multiverse now. So I don't know how much. Clearly, it's connected because the storyline, the linear story with
The
this
Watcher.
one does match a lot with the first Avenger movie of Captain America. So they're clearly using, story content from, original Marvel MCU movies. But in terms of how much is, sorry, we have grandma in the kitchen. But in terms of how much is gonna add on to the future, I'm not sure. I generally don't. I just remember in the trailer there being a little bit of Doctor Strange kind of being sort of aware of these things, or I'm not sure. I know Marvel always has a way of piecing things together, so we definitely will learn more about the MCU in one way or another.
And the character too of the Watcher.
Yeah, the Watcher was introduced, and I think this episode was about showing Captain Carter, but mainly it was us
Introduced the
meeting
Watcher.
the Watcher and what
Right.
he does.
But also apparently there are multiple Watchers, right? I think because
Is
wasn't
there?
I'm not sure because I remember wasn't there a theory? I could be completely confusing this with another being in the Marvel universe, but that whole theory about how like Stan Lee is a Watcher and how he's always like in every single Marvel movie and all that. But
Well, what makes sense to me with this Watcher is that there's a sense of he's kind of our outside figure looking at all of the
Right, he's
multiverse,
the narrator.
all this but he's kind of gonna guide us into the madness that now just unraveled after Loki. I have a question about Bucky because you said that this was referencing the original Captain America. Was anybody else disturbed with or intrigued with his really bad jokes? He seemed like such a cool character from the films, and he's always been cool. Like there was no level of uncoolness for Bucky, and I just got really blindsided with how bad his jokes were.
Yeah.
With fish, what was it? The calamari and 3-day-old fish, and there was a
What is
second
it
one.
with the fish?
It was very fascinating. I'm like, maybe
Yeah.
I don't remember him being really bad at jokes in the films, but that really threw me off. I'm like, Bucky's like, he's kind of a dork. What is this? What's going on?
We love
That was the
corny
only thing I
jokes.
was kind of like raising my eyebrow at. The rest of it was fairly
I
intriguing
feel
and
like
fun.
this is really training our brain for what's coming. I think Marvel, through this show, is really helping us to mold our brains to be able to see things shift and be different because of what's coming
Right.
in the other films. I think.
And also, I think as minds and like there is a sense of muscle and visual memory. So there were some shots in this that automatically we knew what they were from. Like that shot of her coming into the future. Like we know that was that Shield base in the first Avengers. Underground, in the same where Loki comes in. So it's very very. It's so well done.
I love what you're hinting at, honey, because you're saying it's almost like they're prepping us for the madness to come. That we need to be very flexible with
Oh yeah.
this universe that has so many
And
layers.
I also wonder, like, the war was in a time period where, I mean, you see it so evidently in this episode how women were seen. Like, you would never imagine a woman fighting, a woman being strong, and, and how, I mean, if it's been, how many years did he say? 70?
Mm-hmm.
After 70 years, I'm sure she made impact
Oh yeah.
back then. How is that going to affect the future of how women were seen and portrayed? Like, I wonder if that concept will be coming in the other episodes. I'm sure after 70 years, the impact she made, I mean, that montage we saw of all the fighting and the thing, she was like a hero. So, yeah, I wonder if that's going to come back to be revealed in some other way.
And the other thing I wanted to say, because I might have an answer to what you're saying about Bucky's corny jokes. This is a cartoon show, right? Animated show, and they've done this before where they have a show like kind of going cohesively with certain movies. Like for example, there's a Netflix show called Camp Cretaceous. It's a show about these kids that go to the island, and it's Jurassic Park, right? And it's a kids show, but it's also very intense, and it's like the movies, and there's certain moments that happen in the movies that go on at the same time as events in the show.
Like
So
there's times we were watching with our younger, because we watched it with our younger cousin, but there were parts that were crazy.
crazy.
You wouldn't
crazy
expect,
stuff.
but even in this, like there was violence, but they shot it in a way so that there wasn't a lot of blood or like too much intensity. Because there will be kids that watch this, and I know there are kids that watch the other movies as well, but
They did the same thing with Star Wars Rebels.
So wait, are you saying that that's why they made Bucky that
yes,
kind
so
of
that
comedic
it's also
lightness
appealing to the
to
kids
little
as well.
kids?
Yeah.
So that they're not seeing all of this, because we understand this war stuff as World War II, but also the setting of our first Avenger, Captain America. But the little kids that want to see a what if show, they can, So that's why they have those jokes, is to kind of lift it up a little
Lighten
bit,
it up,
so
I
that
see.
their kid audience can, because it's a cartoon show.
But didn't in
but
the
it's
Falcon
good.
and Winter
It's good.
Soldier, Josh, didn't Bucky have corny jokes as well?
yeah, I feel like
yes,
he's always
but-
been. Thing is, I will say
I
that
think
too.
we've always known him as a vicious,
Winter Soldier, like
struggle.
him becoming the Winter Soldier just changed him as well.
That's true.
But I do think maybe it was. I mean, there were things in this show that were heightened in terms of the story. Like,
Yeah.
Like I mean, yeah, you're right, Dad, genetically, about her becoming stronger, but I do think, this is animation. So there are certain
Right,
movements
yeah.
that, they bend physics even more. So I do feel like her and Captain America are at the same par in terms of strength.
So more boundaries broken for sure.
Right.
With animation.
For the record, Bucky is still very funny in Falcon
Oh,
and
we
the Winter
love
Soldier.
Bucky.
Yeah.
I am still very confused as to the 3 jokes we heard in this show. But that's just
Yeah.
me. I'm just
I think,
curious.
I don't know, I think they're just showing us that side of him because sadly he had a very different story.
Right.
Yeah, maybe you just got to be
Yeah, she's
more
like, you
silly
almost
self.
broke my arm off, and that was like, whoa.
I was like,
That was a
oh,
great
wow.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so weird.
That
But
was
yeah,
a
man,
great
I mean, it was a great first episode. I'm really intrigued as to how this moves forward. Obviously, as Marvel fans, we want to have more like content that leads us into the whole, Doctor Strange multiverse of madness and all that. But this does
Yeah.
feel more like we're not gonna get too much.
It's probably
maybe.
an introduction because we may see more of Captain Carter like in later episodes,
Right.
or maybe it's just gonna be like this, where it's just tiny montages of like different scenarios of what if,
Mhm.
and then we just see how that's supposed to connect into everything.
Like
Yeah.
WandaVision, how it started out and there was like one little second that was like, that was weird, you know?
Right.
And then as it goes on, it starts to build up into more of a
Right.
more
Sense.
serious tone and more cohesive with the story. So I think that's what's going to happen here. This constant flow of the Watcher watching over multiverses, but then something's going to happen.
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
all gonna spin into something else. I did feel a bit of closure, or not closure. I felt lifted up by Peggy Carter's deviation from her original story. It's pretty heartbreaking. I mean, the woman's left
Right.
facing the death of her love and then abandoned basically for 70 years. So it was really, really powerful to see this kind of shift in her story.
Yeah.
And now where is it all gonna go? Big question marks.
Yep.
But I loved it. It was really fun.
Yeah.
It was
And
very
maybe
fun.
the fish means something. Maybe fish jokes, they're pointing
Maybe.
at something.
There's something fishy going on.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I doubt it.
That was actually.
I
fun.
just think it's like I have no clue. But he had something with fish jokes. It was interesting. But thank you so much for joining us today for this
Yes,
reaction. We
thank
hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We want to hear your thoughts on the episode. If you enjoyed it, if you didn't, if you had issues with it. Overall, the animation was extremely impressive with the action and all that. So there's a lot to talk about. So we want to hear your thoughts in the comments, and what you guys are excited to see, because I know there's a lot more that we are supposed to see. From Avenger zombies to Black Panther, aka as Star-Lord, and all this crazy awesome stuff. So just let us know in the comments. We love to talk to you guys and hear, and yeah, just communicate and connect with you guys. So talk to us in the comments. And with that, just look out for the next What If episode reaction. Go out there, spread your light, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.